We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Minnesota has showcased its power against the Tigers this year. The Twins have hit 16 homers in the last 7 meetings with Detroit. Those numbers have helped them win 4 in a row, 10 of the 16 games so far this year. Tonight, Detroit rookie right-hander Spencer Turnbull tries to stop the bleeding. He makes his second career big league start, second time ever against the Twins, only this time it's on the road, but of course it's always here on Fox Sports Detroit. Hi everyone, alongside two-time World Series champ Kirk Gibson, I'm Matt Shepard. Ron Gardenhire told us before the series in Kansas City really helps lengthen our lineup that we get a couple of guys back in that lineup. Nico Goodrum and Jeimer Candelario. First, Goodrum, how does he help this lineup, Gibby?
Well, just first of all, he wasn't even here last year. Goodrum was not here. Candy wasn't here. And what we found out, he's extremely athletic. That's the very first thing that the Tigers found out, how athletic he was. He was here in the Twins organization for some time. He can play multiple positions. There you see he's over at second. Third base probably his worst position. Outfield pretty darn good, but he's got pop as well. That's the thing. And he runs the pillows like we like to see him run. With all that, the stolen bases right here. Here he goes to third. He's the guy that projects next year going into the Tigers team, maybe as a super utility guy. But the last couple games will be important for him.
Yeah, 293 against his old club, this Minnesota team. How about Jeimer Candelario? Why is it important that he's back in the lineup?
Well, Candy, again, he's a guy that's really athletic. He's a switch hitter. He can go either way. He's got the big game winner the other day off Hicks from St. Louis, 102 miles an hour. Defensively, he's better to his right. He's a little sloppy going to his left. They've been doing a lot of drills on that, and him also exchanging the ball on second base. Look at here on the bounce throw. See, he's been working on this, didn't do this at the beginning of the year, but he's just kind of turning into a good, solid ball player. Had a conversation with Candy in Ron Gardenhire's office this morning before the game, and he's got a real good communication, a real good relationship. Candy knows he's had a good year. He's got a long way to go. He's got a lot of potential, Nico and Candy both, to help this Tiger team going into next year.
Candelario adjusting a little bit now because of the bad back, 1 for his last 14. We're looking forward to this matchup against the Twins. Also looking forward to watching this guy, Joe Mauer. It might be one of the last times we get the chance to watch a former MVP. Definitely looking forward to watching what John Keating brings us to. He's going to join us in the Coliseum studio with more of a preview right after this. most of the day, but cloudy and cool right now for the Tigers and Twins. The first of 3 games between these two teams here at beautiful Target Field. Let's look at the Tigers batting order. It's presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. For Detroit, Nico Goodrum, 13 career games against Minnesota, a .293 average, 5 homers as well. DeWalt Lugo trying to snap out of a 1-for-18 slump, and Harold Castro makes his major league debut at the bottom. And today's Twins starting pitcher is Gabriel Moya, presented by MGM Grand Detroit, but it's one of those situations, Gibby, where we won't see him very long.
Yeah, he's an opener, but enjoyed him warming up to Greta Van Fleet from Michigan. 7th career appearance versus Detroit, a 1.17 ERA. 4 of his last 7 appearances has been as an opening pitcher. So this is a philosophy that's being displayed around Major League Baseball. Started by Tampa. But let's take a look at the starting defense of the Twins, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Robbie Grossman at left, Jake Cave in center, Max Kepler in right, A-Ray Adrianzo at third, Jorge Polanco shortstop, Logan Forsythe at second with Joe Mauer over at first, Gabriel Moya throwing to Williams Astudillo. We're ready to go.
Looking forward to it. If Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bringing a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Jeimer Candelario leads things off for the Tigers.
We were talking about Jeimer in the open, and one of the things, he is a switch hitter. Much better against the left-handed pitcher. 288, 204 from the right. So those are the kind of things as you look to the year. I mean, this is a year where he just really started to get used to being in the big leagues and playing every day. I think the Tigers predict that he'll clean some things up and have much more consistency, certainly at the plate next year, do more damage. Although, to be fair to him, he's
got better power from the left side, Gibby.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Just better swing, feels better.
And then he's got a higher average from the right side.
Yeah, but he's leading off as well. He's done a good job being patient, getting some walks. So a lot on his mind for the youngster.
2-1 to him.
Now Moya, I believe that what have they done this 7 times?
This is the 7th time this year.
It has not worked out great for him.
No, it has not. But he did have a couple of openers against Detroit, and each of those appearances pitched just 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, struck out 1 batter.
Now you would think he's a left-handed hitter, or left-handed pitcher. You know, Nick's way better versus lefty, so you know he's guaranteed to see Castellanos. Yeah. So I'm not really sure. And most of the time it's just 1 inning. Sometimes they go a batter or 2 beyond.
Smoke down the left field line, but foul. You and I have talked about it on the broadcast before. Dan Petrie has weighed in it before as well, and had a chance to visit with Bert Blyleven before the game today about this opener compared to primary. And you mentioned Tampa's doing it. Tampa's can do it because they got some better pitchers, but I'm not sure how many people have really appreciated this or liked this style.
Well, how do you analyze it? Here's a leadoff walk for Candy. Excellent job. Bring up Kristen Stewart.
How do you analyze it? Well, look, if at any point a team hopes its young starters are going to last, aren't you going to have to at some point understand you've got to get through the lineup 3 times? How are you supposed to do that?
Well, I mean, the old way of thinking is, you know, toughen up, learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I believe there are many pitchers that can. I think it makes sense for some. And there are some pitchers who have troubles in the first inning, right? I've seen pitching coaches try everything. They warm them up more. They warm them up. They set them down. They make them warm up again. And they warm up longer. You know, they ride the bike extra hard to try and get the nerves out. Doesn't matter, but sometimes it is a mental thing. So I can see where it would help in that respect as well.
Kristen Stewart pops it up to second base. Logan Forsythe waits for it. 1 down here in the first. Here are the numbers that we were referring to regarding their openers,
This
who
is
have
the-
not
this
fared
is-
well, but the primaries have.
Yeah, this is the Twins. So the first inning they've given something up, but beyond that, it has worked out great. Only 20 strikeouts in 27 innings, giving up virtually no runs at all.
Well, the other thing, and you brought this up before in the telecast, is starters are creatures of habit. So bringing in a starter in the second inning is different than bringing him in the first. There's Nicholas Castellanos.
Well, here's the thing. It's a game started that's getting taken away from a starter. And it used to be a critical stat in the offseason. Let's just leave it at that. You're going to see the playoff rosters. I will be interested to see how many pitchers are on these rosters. Because Oakland, I know, certainly believes in having more pitching to match up. There may be a team that takes an extra. We have 13, 14 pitchers. If their starting pitching is struggling, is that day not far off? It'll be interesting, but either way, if you're a team, you've got a position, you got a role, be ready.
Castellanos always ready for lefties, batting .393 against them, tops in the American League.
Look,
Time now for StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
you can see they're shifted over to the left side of the diamond, right-handed pull on Nick. Tigers don't do that as much. The Twins, however, do. They rank up there in the top third, this kind of alignment.
Foul.
Now, it seems like if Nick just pushed it over there to where second baseman usually plays, that would work good. There's your primary.
Warming up, just in case there is any type of bump in the road for Moya.
So they're going to burn another reliever.
Might have to. Three and one to Castellanos.
Wouldn't send him here. Would 3-2. I would think that I'm a little surprised that Minnesota's going to stay in this alignment.
Three-one pitch. Over the bag at third. They'll get the, no, they won't get the force in second. It was a low throw by Ari Adrianza, and everybody's safe.
Again, this is one of the things about shifts. Does that have anything to do with it? It's just over the bag. He's running from over here. Here, it's usually the other way. Normally, you'd be coming from this direction. Gosh darn it. The Tigers see if they can't benefit from this air.
Nico Goodrum will have that opportunity.
Who are you going to pick?
I'm glad I had Castellanos.
I was just just asking a question.
I was going to take Goodrum if Castellanos was gone. Goodrum from the right side.
Larry Vanover behind the plate. I think he's a hitter-friendly umpire, if I remember correctly.
Low in the zone.
The veteran, I know that. He's back there when I was playing. He ranks in the top 20% of umpires with 8.8 Ks per nine. Tigers have won both games he's up this season.
Maybe that's a good omen. Huh? 2-1 now to Goodrum, who's batting .291 from the right side with a homer and 3 RBIs, but from the left side, less of an average, a lot more power. 15 of his 16 homers have come from the left side of the plate. To right center. Kepler. 2 down.
Had a good count there. I think as a hitter, we had 2-0 and he threw him something off speed. That kind of makes you half expect that to come again. Another little slider got in on his up there in the barrel a little bit, trademark, and did not get the job done, but that'll leave it up to Mikey.
Batted 200 on the homestand. 3 for 15.
Swinging good though.
Yeah, even some of those outs that he made, you liked the contact make. You liked the way he was squaring the ball up.
Yeah, just like the approach, what he was taking, what he wasn't taking, the aggressiveness of which he was attacking the ball. Before he hit his home run the other day, he hit 2 fly balls to left field where he just missed.
Another one in there. 1-1 now to Mikey Matuk.
Now, if he gets a fastball, it's going to be the elevated type or way inside.
th pitch of the inning upcoming here for Gabriel Moya. 7th career appearance against the Tigers. Tigers batting just a $153 against him. Missed on the inside, 2-1.
Likes to throw the ball in there quite a bit. Fastball, slider, and a curve. Big 2-out knock here in the gap, what the Tigers need.
Popped him up. Polanco from his shortstop position.
Oh, snow cone.
And the Tigers leave a couple stranded. In a moment, it'll be brought to you by your Detroit Chevy dealers. But first, Tiger starter Spencer Turnbull. He's presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Most of the season, AA Erie, started 19 games down there. 21 starts between Erie and AAA Toledo. Lefties 222, righties 252. You see the numbers from his first start against the Twins.
Just 2 misses on 47 swings against Minnesota. Here's the lineup. Joe Mauer didn't face him before, but this year's batting .324 against the Tigers. Jake Cave has 12 homers. He averages 419 feet, which is tied for most in the majors. And Adrianza bats 8th in 22 career games against the Tigers. He's batting .344. Outside to Joe Mauer. One of the best Twins of all time.
pure hitter.
And just not sure what's going to happen. They have 3 games against the Tigers, 4 against the White Sox, including a doubleheader. And people are openly wondering if this will be the last time Minnesota fans ever get a chance to see him play, because he has not made a decision yet on what he's going to do next year, and he's a free agent.
There's some teams that could use Joe Mauer, and Joe Mauer has had I would call it a quiet career up here in Minnesota. He's had a very good as far as numbers. He's caught under 1,000 games as catcher. He's moved on to first now, DHing it at times. Never was the big power hitter that some thought he should develop. And in fact, his worst years when he tried to convert into more fly balls and hit the ball out of the park.
Why do you think that never materialized? I mean, he's a big, strong guy. Why has he not developed that type of home run swing?
Just think that he has a swing that is not. If he wants to change it, he probably could, but he's not going to hit for the average. It's just who he is. He's a gap hitter, solid, hard contact. We'll do a tape, and we'll show you a clip of how level his swing. I mean, he's got great ability to do that. And you know, quite frankly, I don't think he lived up to others' expectations. It's just really as simple as that. He's a good ball player, good teammate, and Joe Mauer on a different team, I think you might see a little bit different.
Goes the other way in front of Stewart. Mauer takes a hard turn, and by reaching first base with that single, Joe Mauer passes Harmon Killebrew for most times on base by a Minnesota Twin, 3,073 times. Man. And a standing ovation takes place. James McCann tosses the baseball into the Twins dugout, and for good reason.
He certainly exemplifies the word consistency. You know, you think you can play him, he's going to hit the ball there, but you move the left fielder over, he hits it in the gap. He's got great bat control. Puts the ball in play. And as a leadoff guy, he's on again.
The men he just passed, Hall of Famers. That one skips away from James McCann, and Mauer trots down to second.
Not sure what happened here. Just a fastball right into home plate. It's pretty hard to pick. You don't really know what a fastball is going to do. But Spencer Turnbull's got himself in a little bit of trouble here, and he's just got to try and relax. They talked about slowing the game down if he got into situations like this. And he'll get an opportunity right now. Slow down. Don't worry about that run at second. Cut the inning off.
He did handle Polanco back in Detroit. 0 for 2 Polanco against Turnbull in his first major league start on September 19th. Yeah, we were talking with Ron Gardenhire before today's broadcast, and he said Turnbull just kind of, the game sped up on him, and he got out of sync, lost control of his mechanics. But the good thing, Gibby, is that he knew what he did wrong. And now he's got to control it a little bit better. Now he's got to adapt. He's got to adjust and make it better.
Well, that's the goal. It does take you some time. I mean, you have every good intention, but when you get into it and the fire gets hot, it's like saying get in the fire and don't jump. I mean, it gets hot out there, but hopefully you can acquire what it takes. This ball's just off the plate. And again, Larry's bent over behind the plate. He's going to be tight. He's got so much movement on that pitch. But I think he thought it sliced through the plane.
Driven to right center field and up against the wall. Mauer will score. Polanco trots in with a stand-up double. 1-0 Twins.
Well, let's take a look at the sequence, how it works out right here. You got to get ahead. Gets behind in the count. It throws one middle in. It gets teed off on. Joe Mauer scores easily, and Blanco takes his place on second base. Jacoby playing it perfectly.
Gibby, you just can't give in to hitters at the major league level, can you?
Well, you saw what they threw. Who was it in our inning?
Goodrum.
And Nico, 2-1 count.
Yeah. Here's Jake Cave. The center fielder takes an off-speed pitch in the outside corner. And there's the primary pitcher for the Twins, Cole Stewart. Really good athlete. Could have played football or baseball at Texas A&M. Chose not to. Came right here to the show. Or actually to the minors first, but
Texas A&M, huh?
Texas A&M.
What was he in football? Quarterback, did I hear?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, most of those pitchers are, right? They're not DTs or old linemen, are they?
No.
Cave swings through a fastball. It's 1-2. Cave does not have good numbers against the Tigers. In 13 games he's played against Detroit, just 167 with 14 strikeouts.
Spencer's got to find all of his pitches. That good curveball into the dirt right here.
Fouled away. Turnbull throws 5 pitches, Gibby, but he only throws the changeup 3% of the time. Does that tell you he's got a really good arsenal, or he's still searching for his best pitches?
Well, I think that he likes the fastball, curveball, slider, change. That's just how he ranks them. And what are the pitches that you don't make a mistake with? And that's why he feels comfortable with that. Now he'll work on that changeup when he gets that going. That's really adds to his arsenal. Whole new deal.
Cow. I think that netting is there.
Yeah, how many balls have we seen get caught by that netting?
Yeah, we've seen a ton, haven't we, this year?
Well, the Tigers have the netting go way high over the dugouts. Here at Target Field, they're much lower, but they do protect people that are up close.
1-2 pitch. Another foul ball. This is what Minnesota did a little bit to Spencer Turnbull back in his first ever start in Detroit. Really made him work, forced him to adjust. His fastball early in that game was at 95. Later on, and he only lasted 4, but later in the start it dipped down to 91. I wonder why that would be.
Just came out, probably overthrew a little bit late in the season.
Cave is battling.
A lot of fastballs, 95. You know, you've got to try and be deceptive with your pitches, and one of the ways to do that is change the speeds. It seems like everything's kind of hard right now. But James McCann has got a plan behind the dish, and he's trying to guide him into getting it together and having a long outing.
Turnbull, and you would expect this out of a rookie. He's making just his second start. Really relies on a veteran catcher here, right, Gibby? I mean, he's not. You won't see him shake him off very often, if at all.
I haven't yet. Nope.
9th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Just missed, and it's full.
11 strikes, 9 balls out of that's 20. So
not a good ratio.
no. You throw that fastball again. Snap a breaking ball off.
Got him swinging. Big out.
Or that. McLaren Health Plan brings you the Tigers starting defense. Kristen Stewart in left, Jacoby in center, and Nicholas in right. Candy and Nico on the corners. Harold Castro getting a start tonight at shortstop. His father up to see him. Dawel Lugo at second base. James McCann is behind the plate, receiving Spencer Turnbull's pitches.
Enjoyed the conversation I had with Harold Castro before the game. Johnny Kane visited with him as well as Grossman goes the opposite way, foul. And he told Johnny and I both, look, I'm nervous. I mean, he's being honest. And I don't blame him. I would be too.
Personable guy, huh?
But
he
wasn't, you talked to him the other
engaging,
day.
yeah.
So as a manager or as a teammate, how do you settle a young guy like that down?
Put him in the lineup. I mean, you're sitting on the, he wanted to get him in a game, number one. And I talked to Gardy. These games are important to him, but he feels that he owes baseball to play his best players and manage that game, those games in Milwaukee, a little differently. You understand?
Yeah,
right?
I like it. I mean, I think he's right. I think that's what you do. You put a team that will be your most competitive on the field on a day-to-day basis.
To compete with the playoff team, make it earn it in, plus develop your team to see if they can match up to that intensity.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Turnbull.
He's coming out of it. Now he's got to finish it off totally right here. Went for the high heater. Look at all the hitters that swing right underneath those pitches. That's why it works.
Well, remember this too, Gibby, and this is what I like most about what Ron Gardner was talking about. Detroit's going to Milwaukee after this. Now, we don't know exactly what's going to play out, but Milwaukee and the Cardinals are in a battle for that wild card spot. So you owe it. I think you owe it to your team. I think you owe it to your fan base. But you owe it to the game of baseball. Right now, the Brewers are 3 up on the Cardinals for the wild card spot. Colorado's only half game back, but Milwaukee would like to try and catch Chicago too.
Good game last night. Actually, St. Louis went ahead of Milwaukee, or Milwaukee went ahead of St. Louis in the 6th. St. Louis came back. Milwaukee came back, and dominating pitchers that have not been scored upon both gave it up, and you can see the nerves are going to start to develop around the game. It's a good time of the year. Chilly, playoffs are on the horizon. You got to earn your way in. Hopefully the Tigers make the Brewers do that.
Half-hearted swing by Tyler Austin. As a hitter, did you enjoy this time of year hitting? Well, you enjoyed it because you were in the pennant race, but I mean, could you get a good feel for it when you were a hitter at this time?
In 1981, we had to go in, I think, and sweep Milwaukee. We lost the first game, so we were out of it. But that was a lot of fun. We were introduced to an atmosphere that we'd find out later is what it's all about.
Turnbull gives up a run, but he strikes out the side to end the first. Atlanta to see the Tigers battle the Braves in 2019. Enjoy round-trip airfare, luxury hotel accommodations, tickets to all 3 games against the Braves, and exclusive brunch with Tigers personnel. To purchase or for more information, visit tigers.com/vacation. And those Braves, by the way, have already clinched the NL East.
Got a wall side windows pitching change. Here comes the primary pitcher, Cole Stewart. 3 appearances as the primary pitcher. He's 2-0 with a 1.88. Made his major league debut on August 11th at Detroit. The 177th player to make his major league debut this year. One of 8 Twins to make the big league debut. A lot of guys coming into the game. Seems like more than normal.
I agree. Tigers have had 11, including Harold Castro when he made his pinch running debut on Sunday. James McCann, Jacoby Jones, and Dewalt Lugo for the Tigers, who trail 1-0. Stewart was a first-round pick of the Twins in 2013. He was the 4th overall choice, 2-time minor league All-Star.
Just look at his arsenal. Over 70% fastballs. It cuts most of the time. Also a curveball and a change occasionally.
McCann strokes 1 foul.
See a lot of movement on his pitches as well.
Did strike out 5, did Stewart, in his last appearance against the Tigers in 6 1/3. Sprayed 3 hits in that start.
Hey, you're right in the crowd in this booth.
Got McCann reaching. 1 down. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game. Here's Jacoby Jones.
Jacoby kind of coming back where he ran into the wall, huh? He's had that sore shoulder. Playing pretty good up to then, but he's back in the lineup.
First pitch swinging and a base hit to right. You noticed he's starting to jump on that first offering a little bit more if he likes it?
Yeah, I think he's recognizing the pitches better. He's laying off the breaking balls as well. I mean, if you're guessing fastball right here and it's a curveball, what do? You just miss it. It's 0-1.
How do you do that, Gibby? How do you teach somebody to recognize pitches faster? Do you watch a lot of film to do that? Are you asking pitching coaches, or I should say those who are throwing BP, to throw you different stuff? What exactly are you doing?
I just think you look. The quicker you pick up the ball, and some have better eyes and depth perception than others, but you know, I'm standing there, I'm watching. That's why you take pitches sometimes, you know, your first at bat. You try and understand where the release point is and where he's gauging it on you, where he's starting a curveball, a slider, where the fastball starts at and how it runs in. You try and recognize. It's really, I mean, it's really like anything else that you can do in anything in life. You know, you have recognition, maybe not initially, but the more you see it, the more you recognize.
Dewalt Lugo's in an 0-2 hole. Jones a threat to run at first for sure. 11 stolen bases. Second to Nico Goodrum's 12 on the team.
Just watching that front foot
of Stewart.
Yep. Just kind of watch this when he comes set. You know, it would seem to be open. Is it closed more now? Does he go home because of that?
Jones a big lead. And a snap throw. That's Willens Astudillo behind the plate for Minnesota.
Got to be awake.
12th game at catcher this year for the Twins.
Want to be awake. They can squirt away from him. You want to be ready to go. there he goes. Good shot. You watch that front foot. Looks closed.
There he goes. Quick throw down to second. Not nearly in time, and Jones is going to coast into third. Speed kills.
Got some good shots right here. Good jump by Jacoby. Look, you see he was timing him up. Throw was off. He had to rush it, and Jacoby quickly. That's what I like about the pop-up slide, Shep. You get a watch. He's gone almost. He's got a little bit of a walking lead. Up and gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure many Tigers did it better than you, that pop-up slide. And you were off. Lugo waits. Back up the middle. Tapper to the mound, and they're going to tag Jacoby Jones out.
Now there's one of two things. He was told to read it or to go on contact. If you go on contact, you keep coming. You go as fast as you can. You want to make that pitcher make a panic throw, right?
Well, if he goes on contact, he's still running, isn't he?
Yeah, but I'm saying, right, if he takes off for home right now, you're going to get the best panic throw you can get to the home plate. Then you get in a rundown, and then that allows the runner to go down to second.
Here's Harold Castro. 103 games played in Toledo and Erie this year, where he batted .265. Left-handed stick. Stroke to right center. Kepler giving chase and making the grab. Took an extra base hit away from Harold Castro in his debut. And it stays 1-0 Twins. Max Kepler, who made that dynamite grab in right center to take away an extra base hit from Harold Castro, of course, leads off.
Let a boy come out and get that first strike. Game started not the way he wanted it, with the single and a double, but then he came back strong. Now he wants to connect the second inning to the first and get out of here quickly.
Just 3 first pitch strikes now for Spencer Turnbull. Through 28 pitches in that opening frame. Twice as much as Kirk Gibson would like. Kepler with a tapper in front. Turnbull, nice athletic play.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch. Let's look at Spencer Turnbull's first inning. It didn't start out right. He's all excited. We know that. They come in here to try and slow the game down. He got 1 run in, and then he strikes out the next 3 hitters. And look at the slider come out. He's got a good one. He's got a breaking ball also. And once he starts feeling that, earlier when he was in trouble, he got behind and threw the fastball, and the Twins were jumping all over it. Now he's added some more pitches, and he's much more in better position.
And as you saw moments ago, more swings and misses already than in his first 2 games. One as a reliever in Cleveland in just 1 inning, and then as the starter against this Twins team earlier this month in 4 innings of work.
See that little cut right there? It's nasty. Just a little too low to get the swing.
Logan Forsythe saw Turnbull 3 times, went 0 for 3 against him in Detroit.
If you look at that progression of pitches there, 2 of the last 3, the 1 cut, the next one was a 2-seamer. So the ball can go either way. If somehow he can see him talking to himself there.
Just reminding himself of something, huh? You and Dan Petrie were talking about this the other day. I was fascinated by the conversation. Why do pitchers like it a little chillier than batters?
Just you feel fresher. You know, if you're out there sweating and it's really hot, it's 90 degrees and there's high humidity. I mean, just think of yourself walking down the road at a fast pace. You feel fresher with the coolness.
Another one back to him. 2 easy outs. John Keating, what's going on, bud? Keats, do you like Miller Park? I would assume you do. Been there plenty of times, yeah.
Launch pad. Really, ball really flies in Miller Park.
A lot of homers there.
Oh boy, they really fly. One of the better.
Arianza. Arianza playing third base tonight. Team best 13 RBIs in the month of September. Really good success against Detroit in his career. It looks like that's going to continue. Cut off by Jacoby Jones. Adrianza puts on the brakes. A 2-out single for the number 8 hitter.
See that throw that Jacoby just chucked in there? That's
yeah.
This guy really accurate. The way that he goes to his right and then throws back the other way, and it's just right there. And the Twins know it. That's why he stopped.
Yeah,
a lot of guys there, 2 outs, you're going.
Yeah, that gets overlooked, doesn't it? I mean, a lot of people will think that's just fundamental. That's a simple play. But that's really important for someone like you as a manager, isn't it? For him to, even on a play like that, hit the cutoff man.
Well, he stopped the runner from getting into scoring position, and he'll have to steal if he's going to go anywhere.
Willens Astudillo stands in. You talk about a guy who's been red hot already. He's only played 23 games, folks. 23 games for the Twins. And he already has 7 multi-hit games.
It does not swing and miss.
Yeah, 4 multi-hit games in his last 6. It's impressive. You said he doesn't swing and miss. To your point, 71 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. Not bad.
It's a 2-to-7 ratio.
but you'd rather face him than Mauer here with 2 down. Tapped it foul. 0-2 to him.
Yeah, Mauer's hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position. Estudillo, though, 360. So by the numbers, it's pretty good. 353 against righties, 300 against lefties. So, I mean, this is just good pitcher against good hitter.
May the best man win.
Yeah, so if you got a good fastball, and he's a good fastball hitter, what do?
Throw something off speed.
No, you go with your best stuff.
Lined right at Lugo. Turnbull with a nice bounce back, second frame to keep it 1-0. Where we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. It's presented by McDonald's. Alongside Kirk Gibson, Johnny Kane. Matt Shepard with you here in Minnesota. John Keating and Craig Monroe in our Tigers live studio. Jamer Candelario, Kristen Stewart, and Nicholas Castellanos here in the third for the Tigers. Really important to see Spencer Turnbull bounce back in that second inning after having a shaky first, and he did just that. Candelario walked and was left at second to lead off the game. This one stroked to center. Jake Cave, a couple of feet in. There's one down. Johnny Kane.
Gentlemen, hey, rookie dress-up was this week, and I know you got to see some of the pictures and video that's out there on social media. Yesterday, when we got to the team hotel, all the Oompa Loompas, the theme this year, Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompas, they were in the hotel lobby, put on a little dance for us, and it was Jordan Zimmerman and Alex Wilson who were kind of the masterminds behind the whole deal. They had Grayson Griner dressed up as Willy Wonka. That's a big Willy. And then they had Joe Jimenez, who was dressed as Violet, if you remember Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. So that was a sight to be seen. But basically, when the guys got to the park yesterday, it was an off day on Monday, and the guys got there early. Of course, the rookies did. And Willie, Alex Wilson, had a professional body painter. They had professional body painters come in to get these guys the right hue of orange. He said it took about 20 to 25 minutes per man to get them painted right.
Yeah, watching them walk on the plane, you know, I tried not to laugh. I really did. As Stewart goes the opposite way, it chases Grossman back near the warning track, 2 down. But Johnny, I couldn't help it, man. We had to look away, right? I mean, because those guys are just, I mean, they're good sports. What's with Joe Jimenez wearing the big purple outfit?
That was a reward for being an all-star. they said that he wouldn't have to get in the bottom. I don't know if that's a reward or not, but
Yeah.
Joe seemed to go with the flow pretty good. But so they wore it on the plane, obviously, and then they wore it about 6 blocks as they walked to dinner last night. So the guys were saying that they got a lot of interesting looks, a lot of puzzled looks from innocent bystanders. And Zach Reininger actually said, I said, what was the craziest reaction you got? He said, well, we walked by this one lady who actually picked up her small dog as the guys were coming by, as though they were threatening.
Do they usually make them walk the rest of the way to the hotel? Did they do that?
6
They drop
blocks.
them off?
They did,
Yeah.
No, 6 blocks.
Now, Johnny, you've got a little history with the Wizard of Oz, do you not?
Yeah, good memory.
Yeah.
I met Jerry Marin, who recently passed away, but to my understanding, he was the last living member of the Lollipop Guild back when I used to live out in Kansas. So I do have an 8x10 of Jerry Marin. He's the one who actually presented the lollipop to Dorothy.
I know it's a different kids movie, but still,
Yeah.
it kind of fits, don't you think?
I think it fits. I mean,
Is there chocolate involved?
There is chocolate involved. If chocolate's involved, Gibby's all over it.
with the golden ticket. I mean, those are
Yeah.
some of the best movies from childhood.
Well, they've remade it, right? I mean, Johnny
Yeah, they
Depp
came
was
out
in
with
the
the new
latest.
one. Yeah, I
like
didn't
the
see that
Gene,
one.
I like the Gene Wilder.
Yeah, Gene Wilder.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't
All
beat the original.
All right, I'm with you. Nick Castellanos with 2 down, waiting on the 1-2 pitch from Cole Stewart. Fielder's choice back in the first, but safe on the error from Ere Adrianza. Broken bat, roller to third. Adrianza across the diamond, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Minnesota. It wasn't long ago. Well, yes, it was. But still, he was awesome as a high school standout football player here in Minnesota, and could have gone just about anywhere in the country if he wanted to stay with football. If he chose something other than baseball. And we're going to go back to college with Nissan. This would have been some of the high-level players Joe Mauer would have played with had he agreed to go play for Bobby Bowden at Florida State. He would have had to beat out Chris Ricks at quarterback, would have thrown to former Lion Anquan Bolden, and played with former Lion Ernie Sims, who was a first-round pick as a linebacker. But Mauer instead chose to stick with baseball, and you can understand why, because at St. Paul Prep he batted .567 and struck out exactly once in 222 at-bats.
Solid.
And the man who struck him out was a man by the name of Paul Feiner.
Well, I mean, he was good in both sports. You could see the football. I noticed that one of the games in high school there was in the Metrodome, both Metrodomes. So
Goes the other way again. Had Stewart crossed up for a moment, but he recovered.
And if you're just thinking about the career, he probably thought he'd have a better, longer career in baseball, and he did.
Part of the reason you chose baseball rather than football,
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Unlike Joe Mauer, you actually played college football at Michigan State as an All-American.
There wasn't anybody looking at me in high school. That's why
In baseball, you're saying?
Yeah, really not in football. It was kind of a freak thing with Michigan State. They were recruiting somebody else, but.
Boy, how many times have you heard that? That happened with Joe Montana, I believe, did it not? At least when San Francisco drafted him. I'm not sure about going to Notre Dame.
Actually, Joe Montana was my quarterback in the Hula Bowl.
Was he
my
really?
senior year? Yeah. Saw him on a plane not too long ago. What a career he had, huh?
Never threw a pick in the Super Bowl. 4-0 all time in the Super Bowl.
So
and an MVP 3 times in the Super Bowl.
And you look at, you're talking about the names of guys he would have played with, etc.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch how the careers work out for people that you competed with and against.
Yeah, Peter Boulware was an outstanding linebacker out of Florida State.
He would have been after him, though, right? He was on defense.
Yeah, he would have been after.
So
well, he would have been his teammate. You put the red shirt.
No, that's true. Well, yeah. Unless you're on scout team when you're a freshman, like me.
Then you're fair game. Polanco fouls it away.
Yeah, it's college football is well on its way right now. And
did you ever keep in touch with guys you played against in college football as you built up your relationships through the game of baseball?
Last summer, I was going to the golf range at 6 a.m. Slept in that day, by the way.
Yeah, stunner.
And I'm standing there, and a black man my age was walking at me, and I said, "How you doing, young man?" And he said, "I know you, Luther Bradley."
Oh, no kidding.
Who was really the toughest defensive back I ever went against in college. So we introduced each other and shanked a few balls together. He looks good.
Where did he play? Do you remember?
Lions.
Oh, I know he played for the Lions. I was wondering the college-wise.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Good one. That was when Michigan State and Notre Dame actually had an annual rivalry.
Yeah,
which I think is sorely missed right now.
It is.
In my opinion.
He tackled me from behind one day, and I got turf toe on the turf.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Stewie.
Polanco spraying it to left, and that's going to be fouled. Is he the only guy to catch you from behind?
Well, he was right on me. I mean, he was fast. He was fairly good size, and he was strong. And as soon as I caught it, he was just right behind me. Just wrapped my legs up.
Yeah, what'd you tell me? I think you told me you only fumbled once in your career. Is that right?
Yeah, that was against Northwestern. For some reason, that team, some guy drilled me in the ribs one day too, a little after the whistle. It's amazing what you remember. People watching the game think back of some of the good things and the bad things.
Yeah, listen, there's people right now, I'll guarantee you, there's people right now watching at home. They're reflecting on their high school career or their college career. They remember.
Think about being on that baseball diamond, your best hit. I was going by Portland, Michigan there on 996 last week when I was going to Grand Rapids. So really the first walk-off home run I ever had, it was in the American Legion tournament.
Cave punches a single to right with 2 down.
I almost went to the field.
Just to sit and look at it a little bit?
Just to revisit it. Wonder if it's still there.
That's cool. I like that. I'd do the same thing if I hit a walk-off homer, which I never did. It's amazing that even that walk-off homer means something to you, just like the one you did against Dennis Eckersley and the A's and all those you hit with the Tigers.
Well, what I remember about it is they had pitch limits and innings limits, and our best pitcher, Mark Collard, who played for Chief Pontiac, he was out of innings, so we had no pitching.
So somebody had to come through.
I got lucky.
Okay.
I got the ball.
You got lucky the other day in golf when you went par, par, birdie, par. But hitting the walk-off homer probably wasn't as lucky. Probably
well, then it went double, 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 triple.
Well, listen, you told that part of it, not me. That's more like it.
After I
when that second double rolled in, you probably said, "Now that's more like it."
No, after I couldn't hit the ball the day before, it's much really the same as baseball. One day you can be so locked in, it comes so easy. You see the ball so easy. And other days it's a struggle.
Grossman pops it up. Who wants it? Turnbull called it for a moment, and then it's Candelario taking charge, and Turnbull gets through 3, trailing 1-0. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Pastime. Goodrum rates among some of the best young players in the game. Extra base hits, and it's almost a tie between Acuna and Nico Goodrum. The amount of hits that they have that are percentages of extra base hits, and for Nico Goodrum to be able to do that, put up those types of numbers with some of the bigger names that get more recognition is something. Drills one right at Max Kepler for the first out of the 4th.
Yeah, he's really come a long way. I don't think that he came over here in Detroit this year thinking he would play as much as he has, but he's earned his way on, and the circumstances are perfect for him to get some more playing time. It's a good opportunity, and I think he's done a good job of it. He does need to keep working, obviously, and learn how to use his skills, and with that ability, he can make something happen in a very positive way for this club in the future.
We've talked to a lot of people here in Minnesota, and they said they really liked him. He just didn't hit for their organization.
This year he came in at what, 240, 241, 16 homers, 47 RBI. So it's some production.
Matuk with a grounder to short. Polanco makes it 2 down. Hey, Tigers fans, you can catch the games on TV. You can stream them live on your mobile device. If you can't catch them on TV, all you have to do is check out the Fox Sports app, download that Fox Sports app, and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you, made available by Oakland University. James McCann was the first batter to face Cole Stewart tonight. Struck out in the 2nd. Since Stewart is the primary, the starter tonight was Gabriel Moya. And the Tigers in that first had runners at first and second with only 1 out. Couldn't get anything going. In the 2nd, they had Jacoby Jones at third base with 1 out. Tapper back to the mound, got him for all intents and purposes, picked off third.
Just looking at Nico, 419 at bats, 12 steals, 3 caught as well. So again, his skills. A few more strikeouts than he wants. 41 walks.
A flare to right, and a really quick inning for Cole Stewart, 4.
Energy, know your own power. Tyler Austin, he's hit some big ones against the Tigers, especially in August. One off Liriano, one off Matt Boyd, and then also off Carpenter. He's got big power all over 400 some feet. All off lefties though. But we got a righty on the mound right now, Spencer Turnbull. That's not going to happen again.
You hope not. Big kid, and you see what he's done against Detroit this year and who he's done it off of. He'll face Matthew Boyd tomorrow.
Well, that was right there, right in the corner. Again, Larry Banover is very tight. 16 dingers, 229 average.
His average exit velocity, that you just saw Gibby point out, 7th fastest in the majors at 107.7. Just gives people an appreciation just for how hard a ball can be hit, because we like the jugs gun, right?
Yep.
For pitchers, so why not give batters an opportunity to showcase just how hard they can hit a baseball?
They should have a radar where the radar screen is on the parks. They should have it where you could switch it to run speed.
I'd love
or
to see
bat
that.
speed.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Back up the middle. Jones got a late start, but his speed allows him to catch it with ease. 1 down. There's Max Kepler. Good outfielder. Has some pop with the 19 homers, but average-wise, it's been a struggle for him. In his career against Detroit, batting just .207. Does lead this team in free passes, though. Grounded back to the mound last time up.
Kind of a diver. You can see he's got a lot of movement there at the plate. I think in general hitters try to simplify their whole setup as they go to the ball.
Shallow fly ball to center. Jones makes it 2 straight putouts. There's the ex-Dodger Logan Forsythe. "70 games in LA for the Dodgers this year. This is game number 45 as a Minnesota Twin."
Wonder how he feels, you know.
I was just about to ask you that. How do you think he feels
about being in? I mean, this is a good place to play. It's a nice ballpark.
Oh yeah.
Their team is not in the playoffs, where LA is. It appears to be that they have a good shot at being in the playoffs.
Yeah, the question I think for the Dodgers is whether or not they're going to win the West, or they'll go in as a wild card. I know there's some things that need to be decided right now, but LA at a 1.5 game lead on Colorado right now with 88 knockouts.
Really been thinking about you originally brought up the fact about the rules changes to have more competition down the article by John Smoltz. I think a lot of people are thinking about that. You got any fresh outlook or opinions on that?
I was wondering if you were going to suggest maybe expanding rosters earlier in the season too, but that might cause some issues in terms of
payroll.
Well, not just payroll, but having the tendency to go to the bullpen even more than is going to the bullpen now. And that's something John Smoltz would like to try and curb to a certain extent.
He doesn't like the way the relievers come in and dominate.
Too many.
He was pretty good at dominating games, whether he started or closed them.
He was fantastic. I think the mindset needs to change. Turnbull upset at himself. We'll tell you why here in a minute. Support the Tigers Foundation annual Favorite Things auction featuring unique items from some of your favorite Tigers. From now until October 8th, bid on gift baskets featuring watches and concert tickets and autographed memorabilia and more. To bid and for more information, visit tigers.auctions.mlb.com. Spencer Turnbull in the last 2 innings has been able to get the first 2 batters out, but then lost the third before getting back on track. And I think that's part of the reason he was upset with that at bat by Logan Forsythe. But like the previous 2 innings, he gets out of it, and he's looked sharp for 3 straight innings with the Tigers down a run in Minnesota.
Jones got on a base hit, got to third base, 1 out. Go ahead, we'll show. So this ball is going to be hit back to the pitcher. Jacoby's going to be standing down here. He should have ran towards home, so they have to throw back to second, so the runner can get to second. So Jacoby got an early exit. We'll watch the play run right here. He went back, did not allow Lugo to get the second. Just an option.
Leads off the fifth. Tigers will try and work Cole Stewart a little bit more than they did in the last inning, where he threw just 7 pitches to set them down in order for the second straight inning.
Good aggressive swing there by Jacoby. You know, you point that out. It's not really a mistake. It's just a way of extending the play so Lugo, the hitter, can get the second and be in score position. But Jacoby, with his wheels, I mean, he set that whole play up with his wheels. He's come a long way, and he wants to get better. I know that. And even his swing, taking that first pitch, his first at bat, there's a ton of improvement. But we all want to get rewarded from whatever it is we're doing. And when you score, that's rewarding. Or if your teammate scores, that's a great feeling.
To short. 1 down. Pistons will make their first visit to East Lansing since 2000 preseason, when they clashed with the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday, October 12th at the Breslin Student Event Center at 7 o'clock. For tickets, visit MSUSpartans.com or call 517-355-1610. Today was their media day. The Pistons, or was that yesterday? So
The days are kind of going together now.
Yeah, training camp in Ann Arbor opening today.
Pistons?
Yeah.
They're in Ann Arbor? What are they doing there?
Taking it on the road a little bit. Dwayne Casey doing things a little differently.
Trying to catch some of that maize and blue luck, aren't they? Don't let them get it, Shep.
Maybe. Went to the national championship last year. Lost to a really good Villanova squad.
Yes, they did.
Really good Villanova team.
Got a good coach, both of those teams.
Lugo pounds one to left. Grossman recovered quickly and got it done. Johnny Kane, what's up?
Hey, Harold Castro coming to the plate right now, making his first major league start. He's in the cages yesterday at Comerica Park. Ron Gardner walks up to him and says, "So, you've never played in a game up here, huh?" And Harold says, "No." He said, "Okay, you're starting at shortstop tomorrow." So, as you mentioned earlier, Castro said he's a little bit nervous. His dad, William, is here in attendance. His dad flew with him from Venezuela when he initially got called up last week. More than 16 hours of travel. They went from Venezuela to Panama, then to Washington, then on to Detroit. But obviously a big moment, great story. You don't forget days like this today. There's William Castro right now watching his boy, and you can tell he's proud of him.
And you can tell he's a little nervous. He's not even moving. I thought Castro hit it right on the screws last time.
He did.
Too.
I think he's locked in.
Ron Gardenhire says this kid can really pick it. He can play all over, and he wants to get him in a couple of games before the season ends.
Yeah, he was encouraged by Lloyd McClendon. Those guys said, "Hey, let's give him a shot." And of course, you know, just because of the situation we're in right now, you get these young guys getting an opportunity to play at this level. But yeah, Castro can pick it for sure in the field, and he was my pick to stick, and he got robbed.
Oh boy, he got robbed.
So you got robbed there too, Johnny. But as a rook, you can't say a whole lot, can you?
Paul Sam called the game. Spencer Turnbull starts out. Joe Mauer gets on and Polanco hits him in. But then he started to settle down. Unlike this last game where it got out of hand on him, he's cut these innings off and it turned in some good innings. 4 innings, 4 hits, a run, 4 strikeouts. Starting to miss some bats as well. First 2 hitters, 2 hits. The next 14 hitters, 2 hits. So he's settling in. It's hoping he can keep it going.
Yeah, he threw 28 pitches in the first. He threw 28 pitches combined in the next 2. So he's done a much better job, and you see his numbers right there. Look at the average on his fastball. Going to face the number 9, 1 and 2 hitters, Willens Astudillo, who lined to second his first time up. Poke to left, hooking foul.
Tell you what, this guy, we've been talking about how he never misses the ball. This ball's inside and running inside. Look how quick he is.
Tucks those hands in.
Oh, he brought him. He's got his arms aren't that long too. You see that?
I did see
They're short, but they're powerful. I mean, I thought that ball was going to jam him, and he smoked it.
5'8", 2 1/4. Tight.
You see that? It's kind of
Little embellishment.
Yeah, I think the guy, he just saw it and just got his noggin out of the way smartly.
Grounder back up the middle, in for a base hit.
Well, you know, sometimes you try and dust people up a little bit just so you can get the advantage on the next hit. He gets a hit, but there, I think he just saw it all the way. Embellishment, but he got a knock.
A little bit, yeah.
Now looking for a double play if he can from Joe Mauer. Mauer's hit 2 to left field. Kristen Stewart, 1 for a single, 1 for L7.
He scored the lone run of the game. That is number 1,010 in his Twins career. Number 3 all time in Minnesota history.
Tigers kind of pitching him away.
I think they'll have a statue of Joe Mauer around here. Kirby Puckett, yes. Harmon Killebrew, yes. Tom Kelly, yes. A number of different statues around this ballpark. It's a beautiful ballpark. Do you think Joe Mauer will have one? I would guess yes. Double play ball. Castro does it himself.
Now it's time for the Bernstein advantage. Look at here, the Tigers opponents average on ground balls 277 last season. This season 238. It's the largest improvement in Major League Baseball. So the Tigers D has the Bernstein advantage, and they put a lot of hard work in there. The analytics department, the coaches, they combine their minds together, and when they're in the full shift, they're, I think, second in the major leagues. The partial shift not quite as good, but overall excellent. And there you can see a full Ted Williams shift for Jorge Polanco.
Just to accentuate that point of the numbers that you saw, 277 last year, where opponents had a batting average on ground balls, was the worst in baseball.
On ground balls and liners.
Yep. Polanco pulled his head off at 1-1.
Here's a StatCast spray chart right here. That's why they line up the way they do. I mean, when you're deep and you behind the bag there, can we get that back up again? You know, the further you get from the plate, the more ground you can cover. So that's why they strategically place location and depth. So if you look at here, he's going to be able to cover this whole area. He's probably going to be, they're going to cover this area, and hopefully they can cover this area strategically. And this guy here, well, you're just daring the hitter to go the other way, not hit it out of the park.
Count's full to Jorge Polanco. Been on a tear his last 16 games, where he's been .313.
Just look how far we think Turnbull's going to go. 102 pitches. 115 actually was his high way back in June, but since being with the Tigers, he's thrown up to 81. He's at 82 now.
Scalded through the right side. Polanco with a 2-out single. And another inning, a fourth straight inning for Turnbull, who able to get the first couple of hitters, but just unable to get that 1-2-3 frame yet. What's been the key to him settling in a little bit here, Gibby?
Location. Location, and he's learned to, his ball came out, he's moving it, he's excited again, and just not able to work the counts in his favor. But it was kind of, I think, fastball early, and now he's mixed into his other pitches. He's kept him down. For the most part, kept him out of trouble.
Good power from Jake Cave, so you have to be careful here. Caught the corner, 0-1. Cave struck out his first time up, singled in the third. Batting .284 against righties coming into the game tonight. Half swing, 0-2.
Let's take a look at our high-speed pitch by Xfinity. 95, low of 79. That's 96, I'm sorry. He's got some pretty good juice going tonight.
He does. He's got some emotion out there too. I mean, he's really starting to demand a little bit more of himself.
Yeah, you know, just to observe some of these young pitchers in the minor leagues and watch them before games and after games. I talked to Spencer today. He walked right over, had his earphones in. He said he was listening to some Christian music. I gave him some birds to listen to. And,
see if it works for him. Good play by Lugo with range, and Turnbull's out of it again. He's lasted longer in this one than he did in his first outing, but his team trails by 1. He needs some offense. Summary, Cole Stewart is the primary pitcher, has come in and done a wonderful job, a masterful job against the Tigers. 3 straight innings now of 1-2-3 innings. And just a couple of runners allowed alongside National League MVP Kirk Gibson. I'm Matt Shepard. Johnny Kane roaming around here Target Field, and you know, it's been a little bit more of a pitcher's duel than at least I expected anyway.
It really has. And Stewart again, he's thrown the ball good against the Tigers so far. You know, doesn't look like he's done it. Doesn't look like he's got a lot of stuff, but it's a heavy cutter and a heavy sinker, and he's keeping the ball down, and he commands the zone. And he throws the off-speed secondary pitches just enough in big situations to keep the Tigers off balance, and he's really got their number. But thanks to Spencer Turnbull, the Tigers are in this one only down by a run as we go to the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, shouldn't lose sight of what the Tigers starter has done here tonight and how well he's adjusted. And you remind us constantly of how batters and pitchers are adjusting throughout a game. It's not just between games, it's while the game's going on. Jeimer Candelario walked in the first, flew to center in the 3rd.
Yeah, you just hope here he's in his 3rd at bat. Can time it up. Nice.
Well, 3rd at bat tonight, but second time that he's faced Stewart. Remember, he led off against Moya.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Well, that ball right there, we'll take a look at it. I want to point something out.
Candelario strokes one to right. There's a base knock. Good way to lead off the 6th here for Detroit.
Look at the previous pitch right here. Here's a ball coming in the strike zone. And watch that front right shoulder, how he just kind of pulls off it a little bit. And he comes over the top. But here's the very next pitch. Here's the hit. Watch how he follows through. See how he had that length more up towards the middle of the diamond. It's just, you know, hey, everybody's dealing with that. Everybody's dealing with that. But that was really awesome, the adjustment that he made from one pitch to the next. He missed the previous pitch, executed the second, and he's got a single.
110 exit velocity from Jeimer Candelario on that swing. Great teaching lesson right there from Kirk Gibson. Here's Kristen Stewart, 0 for 2 tonight.
Again, he's looking for the ground ball. You want to get something up. Don't think about pulling it. Try and have some length to your swing out through the middle of the diamond.
Kristen Stewart 1 for 12 against Minnesota this year.
See, there's a little changeup it looked like right there, 88. And when I came up, I was a pull hitter. So you hear what I'm telling them? I was incapable of doing that. So these young hitters, they're further along than I was at this stage, and that they're trying to do the same thing.
Tapped foul. How long did it take you to
6 years.
6 years to go the other way? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Really?
It took me probably to right around, well, 1983 would have been my 4th year, so the 5th year was 84, and you know, I started to get on it more, but really not till 88 did I fully be able to hit line to line, left field to right field. And it took different voices to convince me to do things, and you want to do it. It's hard to do it. It's not like when your hitting coach talks to you and says, let's try this today. You try it, but sometimes it doesn't click. Then that's why you have to have the perseverance, because if you give in, you got no shot, right? It's just going to be the same pull-off number. You want numbers. Want gappers.
Stewart's done. 1 down.
He looked at the sequence, threw him a couple off-speed pitches, down and away when Stewie was ahead in the count. Stewart is a fairly young pitcher as well, but he's fairly calm out there, and he's good at executing the pitches. We have a technical difficulty, so we won't be able to bring you, but it's learning lessons all the time, using them to your advantage the next AB.
3rd strikeout of the night for Cole Stewart, and he starts Nick Castellanos out with a fastball in the outside corner. Castellanos 3rd in the league in hits with 180. 3rd in the league in doubles with 45. 3rd in the league in multi-hit games with 55. 2-2.
Little slide piece there.
Stewart throws that slider about 8% of the time.
Well, what happened here is last at bat, remember he broke his bat. He's thrown it inside, so now here they're going away. It's more like that's definitely a slider. They bringing everything out of the bag in this at bat against Nick to the runner on base.
Back up the box. Could be 2. No, it's booted. Logan Forsythe couldn't corral it. And the Tigers have runners at first and second with only 1 down.
I think this is an example. I don't think it took a little bit of a bad hop, but I think he was trying to get to the bag quick. Got to always get your first out. It looked like it might have even ticked the corner of that bag, or that it was going to. Took a little peekaboo and he's in trouble. Tigers got an opportunity here. 2 on, 1 out, and Nico Goodrum. Wouldn't it be something?
3 miscues by Minnesota. Tigers trying to take advantage. See if Goodrum can do just that. 5 home runs for Nico Goodrum against the Twins this year.
And he's been throwing that sinker away, and then he's going to come with the changeup. That's what he did to Stewie when he got behind in the count.
Two 2-0.
See if he doesn't throw it right here. Got to look up in the zone.
Goodrum has hit safely in 12 of his last 14 games. I think because he's been so steady this year, we forget that he's still in his rookie campaign.
Right. If you're thinking about an 88-mile-an-hour fast or changeup right here.
Missed it wide. 3-0.
With fastball. I'd have the green light on.
First real trouble tonight for Cole Stewart. You'd give him the green light here.
Yep.
I'd be taken all the way.
Be looking right down Broadway.
Connects to center field. Cave hustling over and makes the play. 2 down.
He's got a good pitch, just didn't quite get it. So really that's, I mean, this is a good at bat. 3-0 pitch, you get the ability. Look at that sinker. Maybe just tried to smoke it, didn't get on top enough. Hung up there. 2 down.
Did you ever give a player a green light but just say, listen, the only thing I want you swinging at is a fastball? That's a sinker right there. He throws that 50% of the time, so unless you're guessing that, and if you get a fastball right down Broadway, I get it. I guess when it's 3-0, that's when some fans may wonder a little bit, why give him the green light?
Well, I would say I would give him the green light because he earned it. That's the way I always presented it, because I had my way of showing confidence. You get to 3-0 in a situation like that, I want them to have the ability to make their own decisions. I'm trying to put them in a situation. Okay, you're a manager. You're trying to always put your players in a position to succeed. Giving them the green light 3-0, is that putting them in a good position?
I suppose so.
I mean, in my mind,
I think it all comes down to trust, doesn't it? You have to trust your hitter.
In my mind, it is. Yeah, sure, you have to trust him, but you gave us the numbers about how many home runs he had. And he's feeling good and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like it'd be a good situation.
And in fairness to your argument, I mean, usually he's got a pretty good eye, doesn't he?
Yeah, he didn't swing at a bad pitch. He had a lot of run on it. I mean, so he takes it. It's 3-1. What's he gonna? He knew he was going to get that pitch, right? 3-0. He takes it. It's 3-1. There's no guarantees that way either.
Mikey Matuk in a 1-2 hole. Stroke to left. Grossman is there, and Stewart avoids any damage in the 6th. by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, long-lasting, full-size pickups on the road.
What was that? A waning gibbous
Sounded
mood.
like a wolf howling.
Coyote or a wolf was howling in the background.
It is T-Wolves night tonight at Target Field. Trying to get folks out. Wondering if Jimmy Butler's going to remain part of Tom Thibodeau's team or not. Oh, guy averaged 22 points a game last year for Minnesota. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He wants out, and he's basically given him 3 teams to trade him to.
So they can do that?
Well, it seems like it's happening more and more. I guess so.
Think it's healthy?
No, I don't. But I'm not sure how many people in the NBA care about what I think in that regard.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
what would you do if a player said to you, look, I want you to send me to one of 3 places. The Knicks, the Clippers, and I think the other one might have been the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets. I can't recall.
Well, I think it would depend on the reasons. I mean, if somebody told me they had ailing family member
like
and they
Stephen
wanted to
Piscotty.
get, wanted to
Okay.
get closer to
Yeah.
them, that would be one thing. But
I'm with you.
your drift to me is that he just
He don't want to play here anymore.
Yeah.
He wants to go someplace else. I suppose you could look at it a couple of ways. Grossman follows it back.
How about Kodiak Island?
Well,
Is there a good team there? See how he likes it up there.
Well, you could look at it this way. He's giving Minnesota a heads up that he's not going to resign, so trade me now and get something for me. I mean, that's a positive spin, I suppose.
I mean, if you keep him, if he's a professional, you got to play hard for him. Maybe you can convince him it's a good place to play.
Well, you would hope so. I don't know if you always get that.
Well,
But he has been a player with a reputation of who does play hard.
You can only give a player a chance to show his professionalism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fans will take care of the rest. I was reminded a few times over the years, and I was wrong, and they know how to tell you in so many uncertain terms, sometimes very certain terms. They don't appreciate certain things. I would think that they would feel insulted a little bit about that.
Yeah, I would too. As Victor Alcantara warms up. Grossman waits just outside. It's full now to the Minnesota leadoff man here in the 6th.
Now, you got your young pitcher, Spencer Turnbull, in there, right? He's getting his pitch count is getting 94, so he's probably getting close to the end. You want to let him go because you want him to see him get out of this. Number one, and number two, you want to give him a chance to come back, stay in there. If he gets through the inning, maybe the Tigers score a couple of runs, he gets a win.
Gets a win, right? Good breakdown right there.
You see the 28 in the first inning. Other than that, pretty good.
Yeah, really good.
He's battling right here. He's got to get this leadoff hitter.
And he does on a swing and miss. His 5th strikeout of the night. Well, time for Built for Baseball. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Last night, since the Rays were eliminated from postseason contention, just minutes before Oakland and Seattle's game started on the West Coast, the A's players knew they clinched a postseason berth for the first time since 2014. They hit 4 homers. They beat the Mariners 7-3. And they clinch a postseason spot for the first time in 2014. Not just that, but the fact that this, Gibby, they had finished in last place in the division in each of the last 3 years. That's a heck of a bounce back. And a nice little bouncer for Candelario for 2 down.
That was Bob Melvin in the middle there. I put a little arrow to. A real good friend of mine and a very good manager. He's done a great job over there. You know, one lesson that he talked to me about, and here we're looking at the postseason.
If it were to start today.
Yeah, you got the Yankees in Oakland right now at the Yankee Stadium. Cleveland and Houston, or the National League, Dodgers and the Braves, and St. Louis and Milwaukee. They're still fighting it out. So
now, who do you think is going to start that game for Oakland? It might be Mike Fiers.
He's pitched great over
pitched
there.
really
He pitched
well.
good for us.
Yeah, well, that's what Ron Gardenhire told you and I the other day.
And
He
hopefully
said, look, he pitched really well for us, guys. Don't lose sight of that. This one's stroked to center. Deep, Jones drifting back, a ton of room out there, and he makes it with 1 foot on the warning track. A 1-2-3 inning for Spencer Turnbull, his first of the night. And a handshake from Ron Gardenhire. The job well done. 65 strikes. His first 1-2-3 inning was his last inning, and he threw the fewest amount of pitches in any frame. Tonight, just 12.
6 innings, 6 hits, and a run, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, and only 1 walk. Pretty good for the young kid in his 3rd appearance for the Tigers.
Yeah, something on which to build. You made a really interesting point earlier today. You said, don't you find it fascinating that Turnbull's starting tonight, which means he's going to start the last game in Milwaukee?
Hopefully it's the one that Milwaukee needs to get in.
You want something on the line, don't you?
Yeah. You have
Frank Tanana wanted that in '87, didn't he?
He got it 1-0. 5 broken bats with an 82-mile-an-hour fastball. I'm serious.
You remember that, huh? 5 broken bats?
Most of them were George Bell's the MVP.
Yeah.
Sawed
Well, that's
him
a
up.
debate, huh? That was a great debate back then.
Should have been Tran.
Should have been Tran. That's what I said. James McCann, a wave and a miss. We saw the AL wild card. John Keating, how's the National League wild card race shaping up? Yeah, they've got a chance at it. Gibby and I were talking, was it 2 weeks ago? You said which team will falter? You thought it might be the Cubs, if any of the leaders.
Said the sleeper was Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Cubs better get going. And again, the Cubs are behind in the 3rd to Pittsburgh, and Milwaukee is ahead. So that tightens the old rear end up a little bit.
Jones to second. 2 down here in the 7th for Detroit. Travel to Lakeland, Florida this winter for the 2019 Tigers Fantasy Camp and join former Tigers greats for an incredible week of baseball. Packages include personalized jerseys, hitting clinic with Alan Trammell and daily games in Tiger Town. To purchase, visit tigers.com/fantasycamp or call 313-471-2550.
John Warden had his 68 hat on right there. See Tommy Brookins jogging. You want to run, you know, you got to throw some speed, but if If you do, you're gonna break something. I was racing somebody across the road not too long ago and almost snapped a hammy.
You got to stretch a little bit more.
My stride's about 12 inches long right now. It used to be about 5 feet. That's how loose I am. Now, well, Lugo, he's looking for one here.
0 for 2 tonight. Started his career batting .375. He was 9 for his first 24. Since, he is 6 for his last 50, now 3. Unfortunately. Tigers go quietly in the 7th. Coming up is the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. By Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory.
Well, the Tigers' young Spencer Turnbull has done his job, and we've got a new pitcher coming in who's throwing the ball very well. Victor Alcantara has not been scored upon in 7 consecutive scoreless appearances over 6 2/3 innings. Very lively arm. Look at that. There's the changeup disappearing. Got the good 2-seamers. He's got some good velo, and he doesn't walk anybody recently. And he's been a good find for the Tigers, and he's our Wallside Windows pitching change. There's the numbers.
And over that span you were talking about, Gibby, the last 7. Where he's allowed just 3 hits, a couple of walks, and he has struck out 6 in those 6 2/3 innings. Spencer Turnbull threw 99 pitches, 65 for strikes. Struck out 5, walked 1, and allowed 1 earned run. That's a darn good night for the Tigers, what is considered the Tigers' 12th best prospect. Took grounder to short. Play by the young shortstop for the Tigers tonight, Harold Castro.
Yeah, I thought he might backhand this. He got all the way around to the other side. Look, he goes around and gets to there first. See, he trusts his hands. And a nice, accurate throw across.
You know, it's interesting. I asked him, I said, he told me he's going to be nervous. I said, so how are you going to settle yourself down? And he thought long and hard. He said, that's a good question. I said, you probably want that first ball hit right at you, don't you?
He said no.
And he really didn't answer. But he looks smooth there.
Yeah, he's got good hands. You can see that.
How do you tell?
Just the softness, the way, the presentation. He got around there. I don't know if you noticed that last step. He jumped right around there and just put his glove right there. Ball went right in it. You can tell people fight it.
A-Ray Adrianza, a 1-for-2 effort so far here tonight. Poke to short, right at Candelario, who
Off
is
the end
playing
of the
there
bat.
for the shift.
Alcantara, we're looking at him, 73% fastballs, right around 94 miles an hour. Does throw a slider. Sometimes it looks like a cutter to me, and he's got a good change. He's got a real loose arm. If you just watch when he arm goes back and his finish, how quickly it comes through.
Hammered to left center. A lot of room out there for Jacoby Jones. A 1-2-3 inning for Alcantara. And the Tigers are through 7, trailing by 1. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Pitchers, 2 youngsters on the mound, 6 innings apiece. 1 run Spencer Turnbull gave up. Stewart did not give up any. That's our Miller Lite hold true moment. Both just threw the ball very well. Spencer Turnbull got in trouble. The first 2 batters generated a run, but since then he just shut them down. Had everything working there. You see the lively slider, the cut, had a good changeup later. And Stewart also the same, many ground balls. He's just got that movement on the ball. You can see the late finish on it, little slide piece right there. Both pitchers doing a good job of keeping the batters off base. And we've got a wall side windows pitching change. Trevor Hildenberger. Let's see, they counted on him a few times this year. 71 2/3 innings. 12 home runs allowed. That's not that many.
And a base hit for Harold Castro to lead off the Tigers half of the 8th. Save that baseball, young man.
See if they get it.
Oh yeah, they're calling for it. You know, it's Victor Martinez. There's going to be a game played at some point, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the way he usually operates.
Like I said, usually you have one in your other hand and you just grab it, you make it look like you threw it in the stands. And Castro's out there at first base. If he doesn't really catch it, he's going, they just threw my ball into the stand.
What are you guys doing? Cut it out, man. Hildenberger's a big dude, 6'3", 220 pounds, a 27-year-old from Mountain View, California. Has a 3.0 ERA at home this year. Snap throw down to first. Castro alert.
Yeah, you got to get right back.
Santiago helping him up, making sure he's okay.
Back!
Make sure he's back. Yeah, I saw Ramon in the gym this morning, pumping some iron, getting that cardio in, sweating it up. Caught the corner, 2-1.
Looking at Hildenberger's strikeouts per 9. Does he walk guys? You know, you can tell a little bit from the numbers. Only 43% fastballs right there at 90 miles an hour. Lots of sliders. Lots of changes.
Gave up an unearned run last time out against Oakland.
So kind of a deception guy. Locates his fastball. Try and speed up the bats of the Tiger hitters. And then he's going to try and get him out in that front foot with the off-speed offerings.
To put Castro in motion here. 3-1 to Candelario.
I would not right here. 3-2, nobody out. I'd be thinking about it right now. I might run it down there. 3-2. I'd say 3-2 to my coaching staff. Just hear what they had to say. Nobody had conviction, or some may. I'd say why.
There he goes. Launch to right, but foul. Oh. That had home run distance just a little bit early on the swing.
Yeah, I like the play, Gardy. You have more guts than I did. That's, I mean, I think in the future, the more they do it, the better. You see Candy's out in front.
He's not going to get that same pitch, is he? No way.
That was pretty much middle. You see, he took a lot. He's got a lot of movement, Hildenberger.
See if he puts Castro on the move again.
He was going.
How do you know?
Did you see him flinch towards second?
With his shoulders?
Everything. He's going.
There he goes. Swing and a miss. And they got him.
Well, I don't know. Looked like they tagged him way back. He had his hand in there. They'll be checking.
See if the Tigers challenge here.
Yeah, remember, it's got to be decisive to overturn it. He's up inside of there. I think he might have been in there.
They tagged him on the left hamstring, but the question is, was his left hand on the bag yet?
They're going to do it.
Yeah, he's looks to be safe there.
I don't know. It's close. I don't know if it's decisive. Oh, yeah, he's safe.
He is. He's safe. That's a great shot of it, fellas, right there. Fabulous replay. Umpires could look at, well, not that one, but the other one. There's you see when the tag is just tough to see when his hand hits the bag. The one previous to that, if the umpires look at that first, this one right here.
Here's what you're talking about.
Yeah, watch. He still has not tagged him yet, and now he does. But you can see both hands are on the bag.
Hopefully
look
they
at
got
that
that
one.
view, huh?
Yeah, if they look at that one, the umps will make it quick.
It's amazing that when you're the runner, you have the best view. I mean, even though he could see, he could feel it. You know, he knows he was in there before that. Could be taking so long. Uh-oh.
Be safe.
Yeah.
It's the right call. It's a good call.
Absolutely. Boy, Gardy, good job by the young Castro.
It's an extra point for Johnny Kane, and Ram picked a stick.
He's got
points.
two.
Look at Ron Gardenhire pointing. He says, you know what we're doing. Absolutely. Speaking of Ram picked a stick, here's the update. Simo's gotten hurt. Keats has got the lead, although Johnny with a single and a stolen base. But remember, Castro struck out earlier. So, well, you struck out too, so you're
Easy
in second
game.
place.
Oh.
Easy game. Take it easy, Keats.
Hey, no, come on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What was that?
Yeah.
Hey, he might steal third. What the heck?
He's not
Listen,
gonna
I'm
do
all
that.
for it, man.
Kristen might drive him in right here.
He's got to stay back. They're feeding him lots of changeups. Kristen's got to stay back on that.
Or the guy on deck might drive him in, Johnny. Hint, hint, hint.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm watching. I'm pulling for everybody.
I doubt that, but that's okay. Ooh.
Another
Pulled the
one. It's
string.
2 in a row.
These are the tough adjustments at this level for a young player like this.
This is 2 pitches in a row. He's got the changeup.
So if you're the pitcher, if you're the catcher, are you calling for a 3rd in a row?
I'd probably waste one first. If I was, I'd move up this way. 4 or 5 inches in the box, I'd move right up. Who do we see do that this year? Is it Carpenter?
Matt Carpenter for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he just right now he's going to come back to that. His fastball's 92. It's not 97. You got to just really.
You expect a
anticipate.
change here, then?
Yeah,
Change
something
up.
off speed.
Okay. Held off 2-2.
If he gets to 3-2, rest assured he's going to throw that. I think he'll throw him another one. I mean, in the way I would approach it, I would sit on that pitch. I would not let him get me on it. Might get me on the heater, but he wouldn't get me on that. Remember, Stewie's up there blinking to the long hole.
Castro with a good lead. That secondary lead so important.
Attaboy,
Full.
Stewie. Good adjustment.
Really good at bat by Kristen Stewart right now.
Now, last time they did the same thing to Stewie, and 3-2 with 2 strikes, they threw the fastball.
And they caught him looking.
But you still got to guard against. You got to let the ball travel. You got to guard against that changeup.
See what they give him here.
Oh,
Missed.
slider down and in. Excellent at bat by Stewie. Well, let's take a look. Here he's going to get the heater, changeup, heater, changeup. That's what actually was a slider. Stewie's on base, and they're going to get a pinch runner.
Victor Reyes will pinch run for Kristen Stewart.
Going to try and get a little more speed out there, and he's going for defense as well. Sure, he'll move Jacoby over and put Reyes in center. Maybe he'll leave Jacoby there. Got to watch for the back pick behind. You're down by a run, line drive. You got to freeze. Can't get doubled off.
Yeah, I doubt Ron Gardenhire will tell Kristen Stewart that it was a defensive move. He's chosen to stay away from that line of thinking with younger players.
Yeah, but if you look at it right here, this is their goal time. They
Yeah,
got
it
first
is.
and second. It's getting late in the game, and they got their best hitter up there.
Had first and second in the 6th with 1 down. Couldn't push anything across. This is the ideal situation with Castellanos. 1-1 too.
A lot of motion here from Hildenberger.
Tigers also had first and second in the 1st inning with 1 out and couldn't score. They had first and third in the 2nd with 1 out and failed to score.
First and second in the 6th. Unable there as well.
Just reaching. It's 1-2 to
Yeah,
Castellanos.
bunch of garbage coming in there. It's hard to believe they could throw that many. Remember the old Dave Roseman threw 15 changeups in a row one game. Yes. 15.
15.
3 outs. Part of that story is he had a little rug burn on his forehead from one of his buddies that he put some Vaseline on so it didn't
I
hurt.
think I know who that buddy is.
A little late
I'll
night.
just look at him and whistle.
Late night wrestling match. It's all in fun, but
Oh, yeah.
15 in a row. So
That's amazing.
they're not gonna throw him a fastball.
I wouldn't think so. Good stop, and it's 2-2. Castellanos been on board twice, but both because of errors. Grounded to third back in the 3rd.
Now look at this motion. There's arms and legs coming at you. Arms. Look at that ball. It's just, and arms come through so fast that it's just like an optical illusion. But Nick laid off. Count is 2-2.
22 homers, 86 runs driven in. Spoiled it.
Yeah, I think Nick was looking down and away right there, and the ball kind of came in on him. That's not any easy at bat for a right-handed hitter.
Back up the middle, base hit for Nick Castellanos. Runner will score. We're tied at 1 because of Castellanos' clutch performance. And Castro plates the run to make it even.
Well, excellent job by Nicholas. Gets it to the 2-2 count. Got a ball inside. You can see it didn't move as much. They thought they'd jam him. And Nicholas Castellanos, that is his baby right there. Look at that quick route for the ball, straight down. Not a lot of guys can do it that way. J.D. Martinez comes to mind as another. The Tigers finally broke through to the Twins and tied it up.
And good base running by that young man right there, Harold Castro.
Yeah, the stolen base. He stopped and froze in case he caught it.
A couple of really good at-bats in this inning by Stewart and Castellanos. And
We were
we're
talking
even.
about watching for the line drive here. We're going to get it right here. Watch what he does up here. This is smart. Go ahead. Both guys. You got to make sure that it's in there. Nobody's caught it. You don't want to get doubled off. Nick with a nice wide turn. Perfect. First and third. Ready for more.
Now Nico Goodrum can come through. Looking for a ball he can drive and put Detroit in front. Gaudy numbers against.
He's due.
Yeah, the team that he used to play for. One and one.
Nice gapper here at score 2.
Twins bullpen busy yet again. This is the danger you run into. It's Trevor May, by the way, but the danger you run into when you have a starter that just goes only an inning by design. Goodrum with a line drive to center. It's going to drop. Reyes will score. The Tigers have their first lead of the night.
Couple good at bats. Trying to come in again. Leaves it out over the plate. Nico stays long on that again up the middle. In front of the center fielder Cave. And the Tigers take the lead.
Little mound discussion right now and a key at bat for Mikey Mato. Okay, folks, come back and see us tomorrow night as the Tigers and Twins go another round. All of your game coverage begins with Tigers Live at 7 o'clock. It's right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
That's going to be it.
Move to the bullpen for Paul Molitor. Molitor hoping for his 300th career win, but his team had a 1-0 lead. Now they trail by 1.
the 8th. The inning was started. Harold Castro's first major league game starts with his first major league hit. 3-2 count. Steals the bag at second. Had to be overturned. And Nicholas Castellanos, as he has all year, comes through with the big hit. Nico Gudrun added another, and the Tigers have scored 2. And pretty good coming out party for Harold Castro today. He's got to be happy, doesn't he?
Should be. Even better if they can hold on. Wallside windows, another pitching change for the Twins. This time it's a different Trevor. It's Trevor May.
Fastball, curveball, there's prominent pitches. Does throw a change as well. And a slider.
Tigers have more hits in this inning alone than they had in the previous 7 combined. 3 hits in the frame. 5 for the game. Mikey Matuk, he's hit safely in 14 of his last 23.
Three errors. Never good when you're scoring errors, but it's got the right team, not the Tigers tonight.
The weird thing is Detroit couldn't take advantage of it. And yet they've been able to string them together here in the 8th. Castro led off with a single and stole second. Candelario struck out. Stewart with a great at bat, drew a walk. Reyes pinch ran for him. Castellanos with an RBI single, followed by a Nico Goodrum RBI single.
So we had 4 good at bats.
Goes back to what you used to say.
That was the A.J. Hinch theory. If we can get
theory,
four at bats, we're going to have at least a run and a chance at multiple. Tigers have 4 hits, 3 hits, a walk in this inning, and they've got 2 runs.
The 2-1 to Matuk. Up the middle to short. Nice play by Polanco. They'll only get the 1 at second base. Good hard slide by Goodrum.
Yeah, almost had it. That ball would have taken him just a little further to the outfield. He's bearing down on him. Look at him. Did a good job of getting in the way down there. Now he's going to ask for a double play. Paul Malter right here.
Just wanted some verification from Larry Vanover. Got it to his satisfaction. No, they're going to look at it.
Yeah, they're going to see if he's out at second. Now, I don't have the exact rule right here for you, but you can say boo at second. Did he do more than that?
He did hook his leg out.
Yeah, I mean, he might.
You wonder if Forsythe had enough chance. You tell me what you think.
I think if you just go right straight to the bag. I don't know if he did it intentionally or if he just had a bad slide. That seems clean to me. I mean, it's. He didn't like my joke.
I always like your jokes. I'm watching that replay and I'm a little fearful here.
Yeah, well, you know what? It was well worth it because if he steps through it, he might be out. I don't know. I'm not sure what the limits are, what you can and what you cannot do. It's the same when they instituted the home plate collision, where the catcher can stand, where he can't stand. It was somewhat inconsistent. But it looks like Paul Malter, I think, is questioning whether he went out of the line and interfered. He was right over the bag.
He's right over the bag, but that right leg
could go either
kicks
way.
Out. Yeah. What we've seen in sports lately, especially in the NFL with Clay Matthews and roughing the quarterback calls, it's just everybody shaking their heads. I was talking with a number of players in the clubhouse before the game about that very same discussing point.
I mean,
they get a little tired of it too. They're football fans.
Yeah, it seems like you should be able to, within reason, deter them from throwing to first.
Yeah,
I mean,
making it uncomfortable is part of the game. Let's see what they call.
No, he's not going to be out. They're going to give an explanation. They would have went to the other one. Molly's not happy. You know, I played against Paul Molitor. Must hurt him to argue this point because he was a very great base runner. And then his day, that was allowed.
He was a great player too.
Oh, he's in the Hall of Fame and he deserves it.
Yep. He was a great player at the University of Minnesota.
Yes, he was. A couple sharp words there, I think, but they saying Lou?
Oh, so what it was a crew chief review of the rules check, not necessarily a challenge.
Might have got away with one there, but take it.
We move on, and James McCann stands in. Strikeout victim in the 2nd and the 7th.
Lay a bunt down, James. That third baseman's back. Been struggling a little bit lately. You know, something like that gets you going.
McCann just wasn't for his last 21. Would love to break out here. Tried to. 1-1.
I think it's kind of been a kind of year. He's the catcher. He's had that responsibility all year. And then when you're trying to put your offensive side into it, you know, they tell you, don't worry, just handle the pitching staff. But he's got a lot of pride, James. Works
that's
hard.
Easier said than done, isn't it? Didn't mean to, but it's 1-2.
Not seeing the ball well. Sometimes they say the ball looks like a beach ball. Sometimes it doesn't. I've been in both. Just never know what's going to turn it around for you. We're going to throw him another ball here. He seems to be chasing.
Catchers probably know that better than anybody, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
They figure they're going to climb the ladder on you a little bit.
Yeah, but they may start out of the ladder, drop it down in there, so off speed. Mikey may take off as well.
Foul back.
Oh, is he battling? Just look at McCann. He's battling. This is tough. Just grinding. Had a little talk with him the other day. He's a very determined young man.
I always enjoy the conversations with James McCann.
Oh yeah. Pull for
There
it.
goes Matuk. This one yanked foul.
See, that's unfair.
That's why you lead off in foul territory right there. You don't want to get hit in fair territory.
Well, if you get hit, who cares?
If you get hit in fair territory,
You're out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's
but
why
you
you're
would
off
never-
in foul territory.
If you get hit, it's going to hurt from that aspect.
Especially on a night like this.
With the chill. James looking for his first hit. It's going to be a big one.
The other way and into the corner. You're right. It was a big one. 1 run is home. Matuk being waved home. The relay will not be in time, and the Tigers extend their lead.
That's awesome. That is outstanding. Good for him. There's a smile. Attaboy. This is a great at bat. He's had struggles of late. Swung at a couple bad pitches and locked it in. Stayed alive and got one again. Right down the heart of the plate and hits it down into the right field corner, and the Tigers score a couple more. Taking control of this game.
Four runs home here in the 8th.
That's great hitting by McCann.
Checked it, 1-1.
8th hitter of the inning. 4 spot. We said a couple innings earlier, you just got to try and hang in there. Stewart throwing a good game.
Turnbull threw a very good game.
Kept him in the game. Down by 1, score 4, you take the lead.
Caught the corner, 1-2. Jones didn't like that call.
Maybe a little off the plate. Got to protect though with two strikes on you. See, those are the pitches that Jacoby, as of late, has been laying off of, and which he was swinging at earlier. Just a confidence thing. You just feel that inner energy is dissipated, where you used to swing at those pitches. The balls come in, you're just much more relaxed. It's just the way your body feels.
Got him looking. But the Tigers plate 4 on 4 hits. The big blow, James McCann's 2-run double.
One big play in this inning. Tigers have first and second. Mikey hits the ball and Nico's going down hard, and it appeared he may have broke the rules about going after and stopping the double play. They reviewed it and did not award the out. James McCann later got a 2-run RBI, and what they said was, because he didn't throw the ball, the rule says you must make an attempt at the throw.
That's what they were asking for. They were asking for a rules review, and they wanted to verify that indeed you have to attempt to throw the baseball, or do throw the baseball, in order for that call to be made. And that's what they got confirmed. Joe Jimenez on here in the 8th for the Tigers to face the top of the order.
They used to have a review about a hitter interfering with the catcher on a throw to second. It's the same thing. If they didn't throw it, they never awarded it. You can't call it unless the throw is made, which it was not. And Joe is starting out 0-2 and Joe Mauer.
Mauer with 19 hits in his last 16 games played against the Tigers. That includes a 1-for-3 night tonight. A 2-hit night. for Joe Mauer.
He's a machine, isn't he?
I mean, even in an 0-2 hole.
Well, the Tigers went in on him last time, and he was waiting for this one. See the ball? I mean, he's just all over that.
Just so good.
Now, some guys are trying to hit that out of the park, right? This is a Joe Mauer's. This is what makes him so good. Look at that. He just pounds line drive after line drive after line drive. Second hit of the night.
Victor Reyes now in left field for the Tigers. Taking the place of Kristen Stewart. He actually ran for Stewart in the last frame, or at the top of the inning, I should say. Here's Jorge Polanco. Joe Jimenez has come out of that bullpen and thrown 4 strikes.
Gotta watch these guys. Polanco's 6 homers.
That one gets by McCann. Nice bounce back. He'll make the try, and it'll skip into center field, allow Mauer to hustle to third.
Now Mauer gets down there. McCann throws the ball. You're going to watch the second base umpire, Hunter Windelstead, right here. It would have been called interference because one of the Tigers down there. Look at James. He gets a good block, trying to make it. And Mauer gets jammed up here with the. See Hunter pointing right there. I think if they would have got him, that he would have ruled that there was interference on the runner. But man on third, nobody out. The hitter.
2-1 to Jorge Polanco. Jimenez coming into the game tonight, 6 2/3 this year against Minnesota, 7 hits. So the Twins have given him some problems. Also 3 earned runs. What's the discussion there? Why, with 4 guys meeting at the mound, to talk with Joe Jimenez?
I think that Ron Gardenhire likes all of his infielders in at the mound. He wants, anybody got anything to say? They say anything? I would have said, let's make sure we get our out. Just try and get Joe back on track.
Did just that, 2-2.
Now his fastball is good for strikes. He has not got any of his secondary pitches over yet for strikes. His slider is one of his big pitches this year.
If you were a hitter, would you be sitting fastball against him?
Well, 2 strikes, I would be shortened up and just trying to think, getting on, find a way, get it down there.
Polanco can't do it.
Ooh, a little extra there. A little extra there, 97 miles an hour. There you see the pitches, the one into the backstop. Got loose.
Another lefty in Jake Cave.
Cave likes the heaters. Got to keep it away.
313 at home.
It looks like Joe Jimenez really reaching back.
You worry of overthrowing.
Yeah, James McCann, as soon as he caught that pitch, just kind of said, take it easy, big boy. I mean, he's just basically reeling back and throwing it right now. No sliders.
I was asking Joe Jimenez during the homestand, what has allowed you to stay and fight your way through that tough period right after the All-Star break? And he was very complimentary of Rick Anderson and Ron Gardenhire, but he just said, look, I mean, they told me to keep doing what I'm doing, to be myself.
The reality of it is you're going to fail. Guys are going to get you. Don't overthink it. Don't act like it's not ever going to happen to you. There are a few pitchers, but they're going to get theirs too. And if you're throwing the ball good and you're making pitches like you want to, you have conviction in that. That's all you can do. sometimes you got to tip your cap.
1-2 to Jake Cave. Barely stayed alive.
There's a good slider. Down low. Double barrel in the Twins bullpen. Drake and Rogers sound like a band.
Poke to center, a base hit, and the lead is sliced in half. This one's been competitive for sure. Tomorrow we expect the same and a really good upcoming pitching matchup. It's presented by Wallside Windows. Matthew Boyd looking to bounce back from his last start where he was a little frustrated. Jake Odorizzi really good against Detroit his last start at Comerica Park. Our coverage begins with Tigers Live. John Keating, Craig Monroe at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, Matt Boyd, he was throwing the ball really good for several outings and got humbled. He's ready to bounce back.
End up making his 31st start of the year tomorrow. Robbie Grossman has struck out a couple of times in 3 attempts. Love a ground ball somewhere to somebody.
Joe already at 15 pitches.
Skied foul.
See, part of it is you want him to get out of this inning quickly because you want him to be available for tomorrow. You get to 30 pitches.
Yeah.
You get late in the year, he's got a lot of innings. What do? But you'll take just getting out of the inning as the first priority. And you'll adjust your bullpen and his availability tomorrow if you must.
Cave is not much of a base stealing threat. He's 2 for 3 on the year. Grossman with a high pop-up. Castro makes it 2 down. All right, MLB At Bat is your #1 Detroit Tigers app. Customize your experience to catch every moment. Get Detroit Tigers home screen icons and features such as live radio broadcasts, the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. This guy can be scary. It's Tyler Austin. He's driven in 40 on the year. He's got 16 homers. And he's got a lot of power. Power against power in this showdown. Austin has 16 homers, as we mentioned, in 63 games. He entered the year with 7 homers in his previous 51. So he has more than doubled that in just a few extra games.
He's feeling confident. So is Big Joe. Joe's had a pretty good go against Tyler Austin.
I would say so.
3 Ks.
Yeah.
Well,
it's about as dominating as you can get.
I've seen guys turn those around, so you still got to respect him.
Nasty pitch.
Now watched Cave get a hit on it. Looked like something off speed. And he's laying off these sliders pretty good. Oh,
that was cute foul.
That hit McCann on the hand.
It did. Trying to shake it off right now.
I heard skin there.
Yeah.
Hit him somewhere.
Forearm.
Just ticked off the end of the glove. The can didn't even make it look like it hurt. Tough kid. Doing a good job of catching. Big base knock.
Obviously, he's called a pretty good game tonight.
Yes, he has. He's come a long way in that part. I mean, he's got that down. He had a responsibility when he first came up. He didn't really break in that slowly because he wanted to take a leadership role. He got it.
Base hit to left.
Second base.
Cave will hustle it to third. Reyes does exactly what Gibby suggests to keep the tying run from reaching scoring position.
Well, pretty good battle here between Joe and Tyler Austin. A little slider in the middle of the plate. Gets it down in the corner.
What were you just saying about personal dom? 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. And what were you just saying?
Yeah, well, you still got to respect
turn it around,
him. Yeah.
right?
Look at Caves go down to third. You get baited into throwing it there. That would have allowed Austin to go to second. But Victor smartly threw it to second. Kept it first and third. Now those should need 2 hits to score that go-ahead run. However, we want to get Max Kepler out. Get out of this inning.
9 hits now for the Twins.
One for 4 at the Dinger.
Homers on the season for Max Kepler.
Joe's fastball seems to be better than the slider right now. Gardy's having some conversations. Getting his thoughts together.
Just overhead of us. Kepler's flown out twice to Jacoby Jones in center.
Well, you really looked at that. It looks like they know it's coming. Just laying off those sliders.
Fouled another one away.
Real aggressive on the fastballs.
Alex Wilson hurrying to warm up.
Seems like every slider. I haven't seen anybody out front or anything. Possible he could be tipping his pitches.
Not a lot of bite to the slider tonight either.
Yeah, but they're just not. They're just watching us all over it. I mean, he's not even jumping. He doesn't look like he's fooled at all. There's different guys in the league that are really good at picking up things like that.
See if he goes back to the heater to try and get him. Brought it. He's fouled off.
Paul Molitor, I believe, was one of the guys in his day who was very good at seeing little clues of putting you in a good spot to succeed.
Where was that? Just outside.
That was I mean, it's just this take right here.
Really close.
I wouldn't throw him down and in, maybe a backdoor slider. But I think I would just go high with the fastball. It seems to be his best pitch.
Lost it. And Ron Gardenhire is going to make a move. 30 pitches for Joe Jimenez. But 1 out shy of finishing the job in the 8th. It'll be Alex Wilson coming in from Tigers. Needs to get a key out, and Logan Forsythe will give you Alex Wilson's numbers when we come back to Target Field. So close, but it is a game of inches, isn't it? Started for the Tigers, gave them a chance to win, gave up just the 1 run. He was excellent after he settled down after the first. Cole Stewart was Minnesota's primary pitcher, nearly unhittable, but the Tigers did get to the Twins bullpen in the 8th. The key hit, James McCann's 2-run double to right. They lead 4-2. The bases loaded. Alex Wilson on to try and slam the door in the 8th.
Yeah, they were going to let Joe go any further. 30 pitches. Seemed like he couldn't put away the Twins hitters. Alex Wilson comes in, bases loaded, 2 down, and nowhere to put him. Throws a lot of cutters. And Logan Forsythe is the challenge. Another cutter right there.
Fisted down the right field line, but foul.
Alex Wilson seemed like one of those guys that really keeps the game slow inside of his head. He always seems to come in and do the job.
Forsythe with runners in scoring position this year, batting .324. Big swing.
It's a big stop right here, 4-2. Tigers outfielders are going to be fairly deep.
Good stop by McCann to smother that ball in the dirt.
Now this is an example of setting a hitter up. They just went high in the zone. Now they're changing eye level. Watch how quickly McCann goes to block this right out of the gate. But it's necessary to do it. surprised they don't go back up. If you're the manager or the pitching coach, you tell yourself just to relax. Players may be doing the same. Make the plays.
Stage 2-2.
Did go back up top. Pretty much all cutters from Willie.
To center field. Alex Wilson gets the job done. Strands the bases loaded. Tigers head to the ninth, leading by 2. Because it was his ram pick the stick, Keats. That's my guess. It's part of it. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, he's giggling a little bit. I don't blame him. All right, we look forward to it, fellas. That 8th inning was long. 74 pitches combined by the Twins and Tigers in the 8th inning. Here's Dual Lugo, and then it'll be Harold Castro, and then Jamer Candelario. Lugo, Ron Gardenhire told you and I before the game, Gibby, he'd like to see Lugo pick it up a little bit. Game's starting to speed up on him a little bit. His stance and his swing tweaks were made, and he wanted to give him a couple of days off so he could try to find some adjustments there.
Yeah, well, it has been tough. He started quickly, but you just saw 1-0 count, then he went to the off speed, and he offered at that. You got to start to figure things out a little bit. Oliver Drake is the new pitcher. He's got a lot of deception, as you can see. Not a flamethrower. He's got some type of ephus pitch. Shows that 43% of the time it's an off-speed pitch, like a split or something. Split finger.
It's his 4th appearance against Detroit in his career. 2-2 to Dual Lugo.
Yeah, and if you were Lugo, don't you think you'd be pressed a little bit if you're having a tough time at the plate. You want to do good for your team. You want to prove yourself.
Yeah, I think that's human nature, don't you?
Absolutely.
The hard part is keeping that heart rate down and making sure you're breathing and just trying to let the game come to you a little bit.
I think that's a split finger. See how he's got it in his hand right now?
Another one spoiled. That is a different delivery.
It is. Not a deception. Let's watch how he grips it. That's that split finger. And he puts it in his glove. He'll switch it to the fastball if he wants it.
And tight.
Now see, I'm going to watch the glove every time. When you guys got his fingers on there, it seems like it would make the pocket of the glove bigger, right? Maybe the fastball it's a little smaller. But you got to try and figure something out. That's a tricky pitch. Oh, we got a piece of that. Excellent, though. Like to see that.
Isn't Drake giving it away with the way he holds the ball? And
he does it every time,
yeah.
Even if it's a fastball. See, he'll change it. It's pretty nasty. So the only thing you might see, he might have a different grip just as far as where the threads are. You can't see that as a hitter. Let's look in there again and see if he's got it the same way for his fastball as well. Pretty much the same grip he had last time.
Lugo's out on strikes.
He wants to say something. Well, let's take a look. Lugo goes down, but the Tigers trailing 1-0 going into the 8th. Started to put some at bats. 3, 4 good at bats. 3 hits and a walk. Nico right there with the big hit scores 1. And then James McCann with the big drive down in the right field corner. That scores 2 more, makes it 4-1. Minnesota's come back and added 1 in the bottom of the 8th, and the Tigers still lead 4-2.
And as you mentioned, Harold Castro is the one who got it stirred up a little bit there in the 8th. When he singled rather and stole second.
Just watching Lugo and his at bat, he's very frustrated, obviously. Just see how he handles it with the umpire, etc. I think he wanted to say something.
Castro's fooled on that pitch.
That's that split. See, it just goes straight down. As much as it looks easy to see the difference here on TV, it isn't.
To short. Polanco with a quick throw. 2 down for the Tigers here in the 9th. Top of the lineup for Jamer Candelario.
The Jamer's swinging the bat good inside. This pitch right up in here, he's turning on.
A career 167 hitter against Minnesota.
But he doesn't really have that many games, does he?
No, not many.
19 homers this year. Half looking for that split. You get 2 fastballs. Greeny's ready to come in. get another save. That would be 32nd save.
Oh, more than that.
Shift in play.
No, you're right, Gibby. It would be 32. Stroke to center. Oliver Drake gets a much needed 1-2-3 ninth. Now it's up to Shane Green to preserve this one in the bottom half of the ninth. And Shane Green looks to preserve save number 32. He appears in this game and hoping to finish a game for the 58th time this year. That's second in the American League.
There you see the numbers through this month. It's been tough for him. Opponent's been hitting 421 off him. But Gardy still has confidence in him. He's still the closer. He's going to go with him. And he's got a run to work with if he needs it. Tigers try to get their 64th win of the year.
He's facing the number 8, number 9, and number 1 hitters.
Ball was right there, wasn't it? Sure wanted that for a called strike.
A line drive, but right at Castro.
The new second baseman, huh? Moved him over.
Shifted from short to second.
Perfect spot. Pete Cosma has went into shortstop. So Gardy's playing it. Put his best defensive team on the field.
6 of Shane Green's 7 saves against Minnesota have come this year. Estudillo 1 for 3. That single came back in the 5th with no damage. Oh, and 2 to him.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Tigers play again here in Minnesota. Pre-game before.
Yeah, pregame at 7. First pitch a little after 8. Tigers trying to snap a 4-game series losing streak to the Twins.
Can't take it a beating back there.
Yeah. Our friend Darren Elliott, who's part of our Red Wings coverage, would call that a shrug save. When it skips up and hits off your shoulder. Why not borrow that from a hockey term?
Clips you a little bit, does it?
Yeah.
Stings.
You feel it for sure. Another good stop to make it 2-2.
I think earlier Greeny had a little more velo on his fastball. Slider was a little sharper. And I think that was the difference. Not quite the sharpness, and he's trying to work with his location.
Now it's full.
I throw it right down the middle. Joe Mauer on deck.
To short. Cosma loves it, and so does Shane Green after that result. 2 down.
Come off the bench, one hit right to you. Your arm's fairly loose. Good job by Greeny right there. Estudillo's a really tough hitter to get out. You know he's going to make contact, and he gets the grounder.
Shane Green has had a nice resume against Joe Mauer in his career.
I think you just want to throw Joe Mauer down and away. He tried to come in on him, hit a bullet off of that. You know he's going to take the first pitch.
Tough thing about Mauer is that it doesn't matter if you're 0-2. It doesn't matter if you're ahead in the count.
No, you have to throw it over. He's just centering the ball.
Time is called.
Nothing to explain here, just got to lock in, get that last out, make a good pitch, Shane. There's a good slider there. I don't know how he let go of it, other than you got Joe Mauer up there, and he's got a great eye. You would have swung at that, wouldn't you, Shep?
I probably would have, yeah. Of course, against these guys, I'd probably be closing my eyes anyway, so.
You can't hit with your eyes closed.
And Mauer just works that count.
All the time.
Doesn't appear to be your ideal leadoff man, but it's hard to argue with the results and what he's done in the leadoff position. Down the left field line, foul.
I think you really almost need to just totally shift him to the other side. Full Ted Williams shift to the left. Play your center fielder over, your left fielder over, and just try and throw it down and away.
Full count to him now.
Mauer didn't even flinch. Wasn't that bad of a pitch right there. I mean,
It doesn't seem like he gets fooled much, does it?
No. Sees the ball real well.
The tying run strides to the plate in the form of Jorge Polanco.
Wanted to swing. Greeny yanked it a little bit. I think they wanted to get it down and away, but Mauer is on.
Polanco's got a couple of hits tonight. 6 homers on the year.
He's got 2 hits and 2 strikeouts.
4 career homers against the Tigers. Good start for Green.
You still want to cover him over here at first base. You might want to move the first baseman back. Although if you do that, you don't have that option at second base on a ground ball.
0-2 now. Thirty times the Tigers have played a 2-run ball game this year. And Shane Green slams the door by striking out Jorge Polanco looking. Tigers win at 4-2. Let's send it to the Coliseum Studios. John Keating and Craig Monroe standing by for Tigers Live postgame. Fellas.